There we are. Welcome in, Jims and Jimettes, to another exciting edition of No Substitute for Sports. I'm your host, Nick Johnston. This is episode 24 on the agenda. And yes, if this Oceangate story has proven anything, it's that everyone in their family discovered that they somehow, some way have a submarine expert amongst them. A
Oh,
lot of Monday morning quarterbacking on this one, some Monday morning divers, I suppose, if you want to call it that. No Uncle Dave. You're not going to survive. You wouldn't have survived it because you're, quote, built different. So just drop it, but I digress. Sorry. Thank you for tuning in to No Substitute for Sports on the Degenerates Network YouTube page. If you're stumbling upon us, hit that subscribe button only after you hit the like button as well. Maybe share us around, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your boss. Maybe you'll get a raise. Don't push it though, because you probably could also get fired. So relax. I don't know. Take it as you will. You can follow us on Twitter as well. And every Friday at 1 p.m. Central, I go live on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy for No Substitute for Sports Live, cleaning up anything we didn't get to here and possibly any breaking news. Either way, check us out anywhere and everywhere. Thank you again. Plenty to talk about today. Got some trades from the NBA that went down that basically all included the Washington Wizards. They got their fingerprints all over everything. We'll recap the Kristaps Porzingis Marcus Smart trade, the CP3 Jordan Poole trade, and the NBA draft, which, spoiler, the Bulls did nothing of interest. So we'll keep you locked in on that. Blackhawks, however, made a move of interest with the NHL draft upon the horizon. Got a quick reaction to that, along with a preview of the NHL draft for the Blackhawks. Spoiler on that one too. Connor Bedard going number one, obviously. Got a Sox check-in, kinda. Got a somewhat focused on some focus on their play, as well as a story outside of guaranteed rate field. Spoiler alert, they got them. So if you know, you know. Finally, anything and everything from AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door pay-per-view, along with a few other wrestling stories to get to as well. All of that, tons more in between. But before we get underway, let me introduce you to my friend and co-host, the founder and CEO of Fat Cat underscore Streams, and that's with a Z. Mikey J. Fat Cat, how are you doing tonight?
ooh, I'm doing good. It's been a good day, but I'm breathing in toxic air.
Oh yes, we have been. It's been weird and gross today. So it's a bonfire
Yeah.
everywhere. Thanks,
Yeah,
Canada.
it's been very weird. We have the worst air quality in all of like the whole world. Like we're worse than like Abu Dhabi and like other places. Like it's horrible. It is horrible. Stay inside. Nobody go anywhere. Close your windows. You do not want to breathe in this goddamn air right now.
Yeah, your HVAC's working triple overtime right now. That's it's been pretty brutal. But I know you were staying underway. You were staying inside. You're just coming out of the theater. You went and saw the Flash. Any quick thoughts on that? Any review on that? What did you guys take away from there?
Oh, it was pretty cool.
Whoa,
They had
slow down there. You were going so fast.
a, they had a lot of cameos. Yeah, there was one part where they were like trying to get a combination for a door or something, and he just like did his flash thing real fast, and he's like, "I tried every possible combination." I was just like laughing so I saw it. It's
That's
just like,
good.
yeah, that's what you can do. But I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I saw like so many people were talking shit about like the CGI. I was seeing so much like this is the worst CGI I've seen, but I did not think it was that bad or even bad at all. There's definitely some parts where like we were with our buddy Alan. I was like, what the hell is that? Like in the CGI, but it was I can understand the director was saying it looks like that because you're in the point of view of the Flash while he's like going super fast. So yeah, I can see why certain things look like it does. So I didn't think that took away from the movie at all. I thought it was really cool. James, I think it was, oh, Andy Muschietti was the director, but this is like the one of the first new movies of the new DCU that James Gunn is gonna be manning. So it was pretty cool. I guess I don't know if there's a spoiler if anyone cares, but it seems like the new Batman that they showed at the end is gonna be George Clooney. So
Oh, there you go.
he got like switched with Ben Affleck as Batman, so he's gonna be Batman now. So that should be
I
cool.
think wasn't he already
I think
Batman
he was
before?
Batman before,
Yeah.
yeah. So they brought him back. I was hoping it was Christian Bale, of course, but couldn't get him, so they went with George Clooney. But
Hey,
people
whatever works.
People in our theater were excited. They were like, "Woo!" So it should be. I guess it's cool. I mean, like Michael Keaton being in it. I mean, he was in the trailer already, so that was obvious. And there's like a little. I mean, I don't know if you care if I'm spoiling
Oh
stuff.
no, no, I'm most likely not going to see it.
There's just like a little scene when he was like looking into the multiverse of shit. Like Nicolas Cage was Superman in one scene, and that was just I was like, what the fuck? Nicolas Cage. I was just, and Alan, I guess, was telling me that he was supposed to be Superman in the past, but like the plans fell through or something.
Yeah, that's possible. I'm sure that's possible with a lot of people like that. Yeah,
So it
that
was
seems pretty
cool
good.
just to see him and like the multiverse was closing and you just see like him standing there. I was like, step through the cage.
That's all you gotta do. Just
This
get
is
through.
Nicolas Cage as some Superman, but
Oh man, what a world, what a universe that would have been. That would be fantastic. Oh
yeah,
yeah, I got I don't think I have any like sense to go out and go see it, but I mean I got no like I'm not gonna sit here and bash it on it or anything like that. And as far as the CGI goes, I mean everyone can be a critic when they got
yeah,
there. Everyone's got a
it's
camera or something that can stop them frame by frame and then pick it apart. So hey, if you want to live in that world where you want to just pick everything apart, not enjoy anything, you can do that, or you can just. Was it a good story? Was it something
yeah.
that
I
people?
thought it was
Yeah.
it was very interesting, and I was tearing up at near the end because it's very honestly very just hit me
And you
very.
were
I
able to
guess
engage with this character
yeah.
in
I
this short
just
amount
felt
of
like it
time.
was very yeah. They told a good story, so I liked it a lot. I hate Ezra Miller as a person because he's done horrible shit to people, and
Who is this now?
he's the guy that plays the Flash.
Oh, okay.
He's a horrible person,
Oh
and
my.
I mean, there's so many stories I don't even want to get into it, but he's they're just he's the Flash, and they said he's going to be the Flash, so it's just how it is, I guess. But
Disappointing, I suppose. I honestly haven't heard anything about this. Maybe I'll have to educate myself. Maybe I'll
yeah,
go
if
just do
you
a little
can look
Google searching
into it
after this.
after, yeah, but the movie itself with all that stuff put aside, it was cool. And yeah, I
Okay.
know that this, like I was saying, this is one of the first new movies to this new DCU universe that James Gunn is going to be manning. So, um I've never really, I mean, I've only been a Batman guy, really. I've never really seen like Superman's or like, the Wonder Woman or like Aquaman. Like I've never really seen any of those other movies. So this was really kind of new to me, but I liked it a lot. And Batman was in it a decent amount, like the Ben Affleck and the Michael Keaton Batman. So and it was when he was fighting, it was like I just love Batman
Yeah.
stuff. So that
I
was
mean,
awesome.
besides Dark Knight, I haven't seen Superman versus Batman only because what in a it was like a 2.5 3 hour movie, and we only got maybe 17 minutes of fighting between
Hmm.
anything and anybody. So I was as soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm gonna tap out. I'm just gonna be out on that one. And that's close to like 10 years ago now. So yeah, I'm kind of like I said, I'm in the same boat as you. Haven't really dabbled in the DC universe other than a couple Suicide Squads here and there, but yeah, I mean, not gonna sit here and bash it either way. Like I said, I can't knock it till I try it, I suppose.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Definitely worth it.
yeah, cool. I know you were also seeing Asteroid City over the weekend.
Oh,
How was that?
yeah, I'm a big movie guy. Over at the movies this weekend. I thought I saw it like a couple days ago, and I guess I still don't. I liked it, but it was definitely not like my favorite movie. It's more about, I guess it's like more about the relationships that these people are forming during the movie. Like that's really like what the whole story is because there's not really any story. They just get trapped in this place. And I don't want to spoil it too much for you because you'll probably end up seeing it, but
Yeah, maybe. But I was kind of in this boat where I'm like, I hope it's. I know. I was like, I hope it lived up to the hype because everyone was saying it might be Wes Anderson's best movie. But I was also in the boat where like it could also just be self fulfilling, self indulgent, and kind of patting itself on the back movie wise, and a lot of that where it's just like a lot of loud, bright colors and not a lot is actually going on when you just have a star-studded cast, but not you not no one was really doing anything. If
yeah.
is it was it more or less that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could, yeah, like, the acting is good and stuff. Yeah, you could, maybe everyone doesn't have enough time on screen, or I don't know. It kind of stuff goes by pretty fast. The story.
Is there any, I mean, again, you don't need to spoil it, but is there like any like scene that sticks out to you that's like, wow, that's memorable, that's playbackable that on like YouTube or something like that? I feel like there should always be something like that. If not, I don't know.
There's a scene where Scarlett Johansson was nude, so that was worth the price of admission.
Oh,
I
that'll be up
tapped
on the hub, not on the YouTube.
I tapped Alan on the shoulder and I was like, that was worth price of admission alone, right there.
There you go. Oh,
But I'm trying to say, it's sad that I have to think, but it's like, I don't know. I guess there's not really, I can't think of like a scene that specifically like
yeah.
stuck
I
out.
mean, to be fair, I mean the IMDb description was, it was very long, and from what I can remember and really grasp from it, it was just a family's moving into this asteroid city. What the father is an author. He's writing a book also at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. And then yeah, they all
It's
just
like
kind of
it's
all
about
just kind of come into their own. Go ahead, sorry.
yeah, it's more like, I guess I think he's a photographer, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And their car breaks down here, so they're kind of just trapped. And I mean, this other shit happens that I don't want to spoil it, but I guess it's worth watching, but not my favorite movie.
Gotcha. So I mean, take it as you will. Like I said, IMDb had it at a 7 out of 10, so it's better than most. But again, you could also be in that same little boat of it might be just be jerking itself off to like just
Oh,
feel right. I don't know.
the
Maybe
set design and all the colors and cinematography, like I like all that stuff, but there
yeah.
really was no story to get really invested in, I feel like, which
Okay.
is what you need.
Yeah, all the time. That's basically what it is. Well, yeah, basically wrapping. We're inside these appetizers already. I might as well clink in, get our last little
Oh,
pickle review. If you were all good on Asteroid City, I don't mean to.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, third and final one. MJF's championship chips or championships, aka honey mustard chips. Like I said, I mean, I'm not going to give you a number rating. Just a simple: would you give it to your mama? Would you give it to your grandmother? That type deal. That's how it is. Oh man, rocking and rolling. Oh my, sweet apple pie. I just
Mm.
brought me a fork for this one. Didn't want to get my hands all mustardy.
Oh,
So there you go. There you are. Let's get a nice little pickle gay. And yeah, these are good. Oh, these are be perfect for some sandwiches. Perfect for just throwing on my burger, or maybe like I
yeah.
said, it's a
So
nice
those
little
are
turkey
cut up
sandwich.
different than the other two.
Oh yeah, all three were all differently cut. So here you are, last third and final one. Cheers it. And maybe like you hear a nice little pickle ASMR crunch.
Hmm.
Oh my god. That's awesome. Honestly, if we weren't here, if we weren't doing the show, I'd probably just start chowing down.
Oh,
These are these are balling, honestly. These are pretty
you
fucking
could
good.
put them on your burger.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have another one, honestly, really quick. These are phenomenal. These are great. These are nice and sweet. It's not too, like I said, it's not too sour. It's not too tangy. The mustard doesn't overwhelm it.
Hmm.
Oh man, that was nice. That's a nice one. Like I said, cheers again. That was good.
Hmm.
Mm, mm. That's a good pickle, Jim. I don't care who you tell. I don't care who knows. That's a good pickle.
Oh,
We'll reseal that for later. Ah, I said I don't know if these are available. Maybe you can find them on the black market or on the resale
the
list.
black market.
You might have to, sell it, buy it in Bitcoin or whatever, however you can. But all three were balling. Kalen and Kalen Pickles, you guys killed it. You guys murdered it all in the right way. And as soon as I'm done slamming these pickles out of these jars, I'm gonna clean them out. I'm gonna have three commemorative pickle jars, I suppose.
Then you can put MJF figures in the pickle jars.
Yeah, let it ferment in the pickle juice. Yeah. Some of them will be. I'll open my one of 1,000, and we'll go ahead and just toss them in there along with the shop AEW one too. We'll see what
That's the
happens.
best one to put in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one that's
yeah. The most expensive ones taste the best in pickle juice.
oh
Oh
yeah.
Jesus Christ! Just got a couple of things to wrap up here in the appetizers section. Just something fun I've been doing over or just daily. If you guys want to, you guys want to also dive in, share your answers with me, share it on Twitter. I think I shared on both my personal and on the No Substitute for Sports page. Immaculate Grid, immaculategrid.com. Like I said, no free ads or whatever, but Immaculate Grid, it's been so much fun. I told former co-host Bill about it, told my brother about it. He told his entire police precinct about it. So they're just sitting there. If you don't know what it is, every day at 11 p.m. Central, there's a new 3x3 grid with 9 answers, all related to baseball. So at the top, you'll have maybe I'll even bring up today's example just for reference. I think it was Boston, Kansas City, Boston, Kansas City, and San Francisco all on the side. Again, I'll just bring it up really
I'm
quick.
getting a picture of it right now so I can try to show it.
Yeah, there you go. So I know it's going to be a
Oh, you
little
got
bit
it.
off
There
of
you
my
go.
thing, but
Perfect.
you can kind of see how the grid is today. Like I said, yeah, on the top, Boston, Cleveland, and 200 strikeout season. That has to match up with a Kansas City Royal that had a 200 strikeout season, a Kansas City Royal that was also a Cleveland Guardian, and a Royal that was also a Boston Red Sox. So it's so much fun, as in, like, there's multiple answers. You can't use the same answer. And just like an immaculate inning, you need to be essentially be perfect. So you can't get anything wrong. If you get one wrong, you're not going to get an immaculate board. It was tons of fun. I think I already did mine today. I'm 2
Hmm.
answers short. I didn't even finish it because I couldn't think of a Guardian and a Seattle Mariner. I think I did, since now I've cheated. I can use I can use Mike Zanino, and that popped up. And it also pops up in the corner how much percent everybody across the board is using it. He was used at 16%. Carlos Santana 50%. Zach Greinke today 97%. So again, tons of fun. You can get some if you know a baseball nerd or something like that. If you know someone that just likes sports trivia, or just something to get your brain going every single day. 11 p.m. it goes up new, it resets, and then they usually on their Twitter go out at like 8 a.m. Central. So it's fun, something to do, something cool you can do on the toilet besides Angry Birds, Subway Surfer, or whatever. Just siffling through Twitter. Seems pretty cool. Seems pretty fun.
It is cool.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely check it out. Just like I said, something interactive. You can, whenever I share up a grid or whatever, you guys can throw up yours as well. It's just cool. It's just fun.
I'm not
Last
the
little. Oh
biggest.
god. So I'm sorry. What?
I'm not the biggest baseball guy, so I did it the other night. I got like one. I was like, come on. And then I was just like clicking through all of them, like, ah. I just wanted to see what the right answers were.
Yeah, see, I mean, even if you don't know, it just gives you an opportunity to start learning. Like, I felt like I knew a lot of names, or I knew where a lot of people going, but as soon as your brain hits the grid, you go blank. You don't remember anything.
Mm.
I've just been lucky that like 3 days in a row I've been able to use Randy Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He's on so many teams. Yeah, so I mean that's so it's been a lot of journeys to baseball reference to check out where people have been. I didn't know Jeff Keppinger was a Red, so that was cool. Just shit like that. So it's just been fun. It's been a lot of fun. Learning is cool. Also learning how was what we I guess smooth transition, bad transition in our last little segment.
Smooth.
Learning a lot. I just want to revisit the Oceangate submarine. I know it's been shoved down everyone's throat. Not a new, nothing new, not a new take over here. Just kind of want to revisit it for the sake of, I don't know, shame on the media. I don't know. Maybe they didn't know at the time either about certain things, but the way it played out was kind of weird. And I just wanted to just get your thoughts on just the idea of, like, Was it weird to you that they like had a count? Some people, or maybe just social media, had like the countdown for air. And these guys, it blew up right away. I don't know. I felt like they kind of dropped the ball in a lot of ways, and a lot of, I guess I already said Monday morning quarterbacking with this, and it kind of was with, CBS News dropping a video that they talked to this guy like a year ago, and I don't know, there was just tons of red flags. Why didn't you put up that video earlier? I don't know. Like I said, not trying to sit here and shove blame either way, but yeah, just a lot of misinformation. We sat here and we're thinking that they're down at the bottom of the ocean, just sitting there waiting to die when they had already just imploded, and that was already horrific enough. I've seen a lot of YouTube related things in my feed on that. Just
Oh,
what would happen if I'm like, oh God, that's awful. That's all awful. Nothing about this was good. So I mean, there's a lot. And then, yeah, even if you want to talk about it too, the Mr. Beast coming out after the fact saying he would have been on this thing. Apparently, there was a lot of influence. The pilot or the captain of the submarine, I suppose, whatever you want to call him,
mm-hmm.
reached out to a lot of influencers, a lot of YouTubers wanted to get as much visuals on this, a lot of views on this as he could, but unfortunately, the 13th attempt down to the Titanic was their last. So I don't know. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of get on the right side of what this was, and when we were just sitting asking like, what are they going to do for pooping and peeing? Like, no, they were already cooked, they were already done. I just wanted to kind of reiterate that, and just, yeah, that was basically just my question of why didn't we just already know that they were cooked? It wasn't just us. It was a lot of people under the impression that these guys were just underneath the water without any sort of hope, and that it was all facade that we were going to go down there and be able to save them, when it was all for naught. So I don't
False
know.
hope.
Yeah, a lot of that. So I don't know if you had any more to get back into that one. Like I said, what my initial thoughts on it, again, it was too scary for me. That's my worst nightmare. I didn't even want to joke about it. So yeah, anything you felt like we needed to clear up, or anything you weren't so sure about that now you know. I don't know.
Thoughts and prayers to all their families and I've just all I mean it's fucked up, man. That's
Yeah,
all I just
absolutely.
want to say.
Yeah.
I know I've said shit about it, but yeah, at the end of the day it's fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it is, again. It may take it as a joke or whatever it is. This is going to be a movie. They're going to make some sort of movie out of this, some sort of dramatic story out of it, and probably blow out of the proportion the again that how crazy this guy was, the captain, how he just didn't take safety seriously at all. This carbon fiber hull was, a lot of people were shaking a stick at it for a good reason.
Hmm.
The one, again, the CBS story that they played back, the expert diver that they talked about, he's like, I've been alive for 55 years, and for 5 3/4 of a year I've been underwater. I'm like, okay. So then I can kind of take his word for it that he was his comparison that he made was, this submarine was like if someone came up to you and said, hey, I just refurbished the airplane. I put on propellers on a different way. It's gonna be awesome. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be completely fine. And we're all just supposed to sit there, and it's supposed to be okay. So,
Hmm.
between the pictures we saw, the computer monitor screwed into the actual thing, the computer, I mean, the fucking gaming system control that they had for it, finding out the window was only set up for like 2,500 psi pressure per square inch, and then they would go 4,000 meters deep and some shit like that. So a lot of safety hazards, a lot of things went wrong. Uh, but
It's
yeah, so
horrible.
yeah, like I said, just wanted to be completely, uh, yeah, I guess your final review on it, and that was basically it. Just wanted to be on the right side of, we just, yeah, just be basically getting it all correct. Didn't want to leave anything hanging. So yeah, definitely unfortunate, and probably seeing it as a blockbuster thriller in the next 2 3 years. I don't know. It's unfortunate.
Probably. Yeah.
Or straight to Tubi or Amazon Prime or some shit like that. There you go. On to some actual sports if you're good on that. If you're all set, ready to roll. How's that sound?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool, cool. I think we've been all into the into the appetizer for a little bit. There she blows. I had one hanging.
Oh,
Into the NBA, if you're cool with that. Just, I know we're in the, and I don't want to say already the dog days, but it's just MLB. It's just baseball right now. It's just whenever we can talk about NBA, it's basically going to be trades, and I know free agency is in 3 days. 3 days, that's going to be fun seeing that the horn go off on NBA Live or whatever. Oh man, just a ton of burps today.
oh,
But that's okay. Yeah, just I know we'll be between free agency coming up. That's basically all we'll be able to talk about there, other than other trades. Maybe Zach LaVine's still hanging in the wings, but I was able to talk about it on Friday. But definitely want to get your thoughts on the Porzingis and 2 first rounders to the Celtics, Marcus Smart to the Grizzlies, and Tyus Jones, Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and at the time the 35th overall pick that was later traded to the Bulls. That was all going to go to the Wizards. What was your again? This was after the first attempt had fallen through, the Malcolm Brogdon trade after his uncertainty from his past injury history. Uh, just want to get maybe winners and losers, or did this improve anything at all? Were you shocked by this? What was your thoughts?
at the Celtics, I cooked them, or yeah, the Celtics cooked them up. I feel like they ended up getting 2 first rounders and Porzingis out of this, and they had to just trade Marcus Smart, which
Oh
he's a hell
man.
of a player. He won Defensive Player of the Year before. I mean, he's great, but I feel like the Celtics are the winners in this trade here, and this Porzingis is going to help them a lot.
Yeah, I feel there's been 50-50 in terms of that. I'm in that boat of if Porzingis is on this team, if you I guess if you separate or substitute him with Smart, I think he probably does get it done, and they don't go 7 games, or more or less the Celtics do beat Miami and or end up in the finals. I think having this big man, having this unicorn type guy, maybe a little bit less on defense, but having him just his presence there, that's going to be a different game for the Celtics. I think that's definitely going to improve and then on the Grizzlies side, it's going to be a nice little lineup right there too. They didn't really give up all too much, other than maybe I think they were probably in the first and the one of the giving up one of the picks or whatnot. So that was pretty good. And in terms of the Wizards side, uh, nothing really too much there. Tyus Jones was described as one of the best backup point guards in the league. So kind of a backhanded compliment from people from analyze NBA analysis and analyzers. Yeah, that was basically what I got from all that. But I guess Brad Stevens, new Pat Riley. Is that what you're under the impression of?
Hmm. Oh wait, that he knew Pat Riley?
No, that Brad Stevens is the new Pat Riley, because
Oh,
he was able to make such a good move, make such a steal of a move.
it was a it was a greasy move. I mean, I just got yeah. I mean, I just that's the first reaction I had when it happened. I was like, how the hell did they get all of this for what they gave up? But yeah, I mean, it all just depends on how they do and what they do with it. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, are you? This is, I guess, also tough 'cause we don't live over there. We don't have the like, oh my God, the coffee talk, the bar talk around this. But Marcus Smart, I guess, was considered the heart and soul of that team. Is that really going to be? Maybe that's gonna have to affect it right there. Former, again, just like you said, defensive player of the year. He was more or less, the Grizzlies had Dylan Brooks, and that was a wish version of Marcus Smart. Now they have Marcus Smart. I think that's gonna be a very, very nice addition to the Grizzlies. I mean, I don't think he's gonna change, other than maybe getting a chip on his shoulder from being traded. He's gonna have to dye his hair from the green maybe to like Grizzlies blue, or like
yeah,
the dark, yeah, one of the yellow or something like that. I think that's gonna be nice for him. Uh, But yeah, I guess maybe just is that going to be a big factor? That was basically what I was throwing that up to. Oh man, yeah, just a little all over the place right now. But I overall wasn't the worst move. Again, yeah, Wizards just cleaning house, clearing up what they can. Because that would have been a $38 million deal right there with Porzingis. He's signing his option right there to sign for the year. So an expensive rental for the year, I suppose, but you're kind of getting a good back fall with 2 first round picks coming up in 2024 and 2025. So yeah, more like I was in the impression that they both kind of benefit as long as Porzingis stays healthy and consistent. He's probably not gonna you're not gonna get all 82 out of him with for sure, but if you get a good playoff stretch out of him, I think that can work. Uh, but again, a lot of naysayers were throwing up the idea of like, oh, it didn't work in how come it didn't work in Dallas? How come this? How come that? I don't know. I don't know. That's gonna be something interesting to watch for sure throughout the season. So yeah, any lingering thoughts on this trade?
Yeah, Marcus Smart will definitely help the Grizzlies, so it will be interesting to see how it works for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, defensive presence. He talks shit, but he knows when to talk shit. I think that's the biggest difference between him and a lot of the people in this league. And he was actually improving as a shooter. So I mean, you're not going to get Steph Curry percentages from 3-point land, but throwing it to him in the corner for a 3-pointer isn't suicide anymore. So he's not going to be a black hole on offense. So I think again, uh, good push and pulls from both sides. I guess again, just the unfortunate side of it all that yeah, Malcolm Brogdon couldn't get moved from for his health injury. So I guess in the back pocket, there's like, all right, Marcus Smart, here you go, goodbye. That's a shame. That was that. That was that trade. There was also the CP3 to Golden State for Jordan Poole, a future first and a future second round pick. Again, does this make the initial Wizards trade with the Sun any better for the Wizards? And then just like I said, any winners, losers doesn't matter? Question mark. For you on this one, what were your thoughts?
Hmm. Well, I guess I was kind of surprised, but then I realized that it makes sense. Either Jordan Poole or Draymond Green were gonna leave. Draymond must have put his foot down and said, if you want me to stay, you got to trade Jordan Poole. So they trade him for Chris Paul. I mean, they said they want to ride with Chris Paul and they want to try to win a championship with him. So we'll see how it works out with that as well. I mean, Chris Paul is a great point guard. He's old as hell now, but I think he'll be a good backup point guard to have coming off the bench for the Warriors. And when Steph and Clay aren't on the court or something, to have Chris Paul being out there with all the younger guys and whoever is on their bench. I think that'll be better than having Jordan Poole, honestly. But Jordan Poole will get his and he'll score like 20 points. He'll just be, the main guy in Washington, just do whatever and they'll lose every game and and that's how it will go for them all season. But I think Chris Paul could help the war. I don't know if he'll drastically help them, but I think he could be an improvement to what they had before. So
I think so. I mean, a lot of people want to just harp on him and just and hate on him right away. I don't know what this trend came out of, but I get it. He's on defense. He's a traffic cone, kind of not non-existent. Getting older, like you said, but every time he's gone to a team, he's made that team better in some sort of fashion. It may not have shown up right away in wins or stats right away, but he makes the team better. I recall again. I always point to the example of when he went to OKC that they had no business even sniffing the playoffs, and they were a 7th seed. No, not spectacular, but again, had no reason even being competitive at all, and he was able to make them a decent looking team. Uh, so again, yeah, he's coming onto a team where he's not going to be the number 1, 2, maybe not even the number 3 option. He's going to be coming off the bench, like you said, most likely, but leading the way for when Curry's a little tired and Clay needs somebody, or you can even run it with Curry and Paul and probably Kevin Looney or something like that down low or something and whatever. But and again, if Draymond Greens decides to stay over this, he declined his player option a couple weeks ago. If not, I think we mentioned it when that happened. I think he more or less stays now. I don't know if anyone else pays him the amount that he should or would be getting, the 28, 29 million he was asking for. But yeah, I think that's gonna a lot of it's gonna be figured out. And I think you're right. Again, you're probably right on Jordan Poole. That team's not gonna be doing anything anytime soon. Good on the Golden State for maybe avoiding some drama on and off the court / just getting rid of a contract that they may have just overpaid for. So I think that was uh, good on them, good on both sides. Again, maybe does it scream right away that these teams are going to be contenders? I mean, of course, Golden State was already in that already in that ring of being in there. So as long as everyone stays healthy, again, another year, everyone gets older, but I think Curry and Clay are still playing competitive ball. The organization is still drafting pretty decent, keeping some young guys. They still got Andrew Wiggins, so stuff like that. I think they'll be just fine. Golden State will be keeping it competitive. I would have loved if Golden State beat the Lakers. I think that would have been not a sweep in the Western Conference Finals. I don't know necessarily if the Golden State beats Denver still, but it could have made it a 5-game, 6-game series. Actually made it worthwhile instead of just the Lakers getting smacked up 4 straight games. So that's just my thoughts, my opinions. Anything on that? That was basically that, with CP3 and Jordan Poole. Like I said, between that, they get a future first rounder and a future second rounder. So Wizards just adding up what they can draft stock wise, and Jordan Poole will help for a little bit, and he's young enough that if you want to keep him in your core, you can. So that's not the worst move, in my opinion. So any final thoughts lingering on the CP3 Jordan Poole trade?
No, yeah, just as I think it could help both teams in their own respective ways. So
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I don't know. The Wizards probably aren't going to be trying to be championship contenders, obviously, but in the East, anything is possible at this point. Yeah. Speaking of which, we can wrap the NBA section with the NBA draft. Wasn't any secret that Victor Wembanyama was going to go number 1 overall to the San Antonio Spurs. Let me think. Brandon Miller of the Alabama forward goes second to the Hornets. Scoot Henderson goes third, point guard, to the Portland Trail Blazers. And then the Thompson brothers go to, I'm going to butcher their names for sure. Azuz, and I don't have it in front of me. I did it on Friday.
Azuzu,
Azuzu.
Asar and something. I forget.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't have their names in front of me, but the first time that 2 brothers went in the top 5 back to back. So there you go. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully that makes up for it in some sort of way. I didn't watch the draft. I caught what I could. Obviously, just us being Bulls fans, didn't see that they had a draft pick at all. So weren't going to be wasting our time other than, like I said, just catching the highlights of some people of getting drafted and whatnot. But they ended up getting into the second round after promising that they would get into the first round. Again, I don't want to be too much of a bitch, but if you want to keep the fans interacted and involved and give us hope, if you make a promise to get into this first round, then get into this first round. I understand it's tough. You would have had to move a lot of things, but you're already planning on moving Zach LaVine. Why not try and do something? I don't know. I get it. This draft wasn't ridiculously stacked other than the first 3 or 5 people that we already mentioned. Other than that, again, not a lot of depth, not a lot of big name guys in this draft. So it is what it is. At least from the reports, we didn't overtake with the Julian Phillips draft pick at 35th overall. Averaging 8 points in Tennessee. Again, the analysis from him wasn't too flattering. He underperformed at Tennessee. this is a decent opportunity for him to get some playing time again. Has all the talent, but didn't live up to expectation at Tennessee is what they were saying. So
Great.
not the best, but again, I counter it with just we didn't take him at 35th when he should have been taken 60th. He was taken appropriate. That's the justification right there. But again, tough to hear this on for Bulls fans, considering the Bulls did nothing of interest. At least they didn't get into the first round, aren't getting there anytime soon. Still talking about Zach LaVine trades and nothing has moved. But yeah, that again, just disappointing night. And I'll get your thoughts in a second, just on what the Bulls did, and just my final quickly wrapping it up on the draft overall. Kind of weird presentation that these guys get drafted and they get like 90 seconds to 2 minutes to just talk, and they don't really get to talk about what they want to necessarily. They just get thrown in with these already premeditated questions about, hey, excited to do this, you excited to do that, and then if they have their parents on, they're going to be talking to mom and dad, and you're not even going to be talking to the guy that's going to be on the court representing your business, and whatnot. Whatever. It's ran a little compacted, a little weird. I know this shouldn't be on all night, but give them a little opportunity to sell themselves, to make them look cool, because that's more or less what we always talk about in all the sports, that these guys, they have all personalities, and in small sample sizes we're not going to get that. So give them an opportunity to talk, give them an opportunity to say something other than thank you, coach, and I think Kentucky or Duke represent or formed me well to be in the NBA. Give me something more. I don't know. What's your favorite TV show? What's the craziest thing you've ever done? Yeah,
More
something.
personal
Yeah.
with them rather than all these dumb fucks. Not not saying that their families are retarded.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there you go. Exactly. So just again, I didn't
Yeah, they
waste.
should just ask, like you said, they should just ask them, like, how would you like, how's your experience at your college? How's it going to affect your time here in this team? Or like, they should just ask them more personal questions. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, they're gonna get the same questions every single time throughout the season. Like, oh, why didn't your team lose? Like, oh, we didn't score enough, and it's just gonna be those questions like that all season long. This is perfect opportunity to showcase their personality, anything that they want. I feel like they dropped the ball. So any lingering thoughts on just what maybe like I said, I was kind of all over the place, but maybe what the Bulls did, if you want to track it back to that, or just your overall thoughts on the draft. So what'd you have?
Um, yeah, I turned it on and I was immediately like, why am I watching this? The Bulls aren't even picking at all. So, um, yeah, they did nothing as I expected. People were talking about maybe trading into the draft. I knew they wouldn't, because I feel like, I don't know. Chicago fans, sports fans are used to disappointment, I feel like. It's like with all or with any team, there's always something, but yeah, I just didn't think the Bulls would do anything. And that goes to show. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to sign Vooch probably to a contract, and I don't know if they're
Just
even going to
everything I
trade.
don't want to happen is basically going to happen. So
I
yeah, I
mean,
mean,
I don't know what's going to happen with LaVine. And at this point, if we don't trade him, now he's going to be pissed off because of all those talks in this during the off season. I mean, at least I would. I would be like, I'm supposed to be your star player, and you're just talking about trading me this whole time. But and then you're just going to act like, oh, let's win, woo, if they don't trade him. But
yeah.
it's the Bulls. It's just not good right now. I don't know what they're going to do, and we say it every episode. Like I don't know what they're gonna do. They can't really do anything. So
Yeah. Definitely disappointing. I mean, the expectations are high. That's why we feel like we're so disappointed, because we're supposed to be the star-studded franchise. We're one of the best. We're it's Chicago, baby. It's what it's all about. It's one of the top cities, and like I said,
Michael
there's star.
Jordan.
Exactly. You got all that and all the history. The Bulls should be better. They should be competitive. They shouldn't be like I said, 6th seed at best, and not making the playoffs at worst. That shouldn't be where the Bulls are. They should be top 4 in the in the conference slash possibly making their way into the finals, but that hasn't been that way since 2013, 2012, 2010 when Derrick Rose had 2 good knees. So it's just been beyond disappointing. That's the word of the decade. I would say the word of the day, but I would say the word of the decade as of late with the Bulls. So very unfortunate. I just, again, it didn't it was didn't even know that the Bulls made a move in the end of the draft. That's, again, I don't know if that's on the production side of the league. I didn't see any push notification till the next day. So maybe I was just, I don't know, maybe I
Yeah, I
passed
saw
out.
the pictures of that guy. I was like, who is this guy? I was
Yeah.
like, how did we pick somebody?
And no hate on him. I hope he does well. I hope he participates and maybe even, replaces Patrick
Yeah.
Williams, but
Oh,
that's just between you and I.
not anymore.
No, it's fine. Exactly. Just get a fresh start. You got a rookie contract and a guy that's probably more or less going to do the exact same thing as the guy we've had for
That guy
three
can't
years
be
already.
better than Patrick Williams.
I don't know, man. It's not right away, I'm sure, but over the course of a season, I think we'll probably see very similar numbers and similar playing time features. We'll see how that
I won't
goes.
harp on him because I don't really know him or seen too much. I was just surprised because I
Yeah.
didn't think we had anything. Again, like you, I saw it the next day. I didn't think it was real. I was like, who even is this? Like they're just like a video of him with the Bulls head and stuff. I was like, what? How
Yeah.
but yeah,
Uh,
the host hope that hope he does good.
yeah. Like I said, 6'8", averaged about 8 points, 4.7 boards,
Wow.
uh, in about uh, like 18 minutes of play, I believe. I
Six,
can't
eight.
I can't remember everything off the top of my head, but not the worst, not the best. And again, we didn't take Patrick Williams 4th overall in this one. We got just a justified. He was justified at the spot that he was taken at. So I'll take it for what it's worth. That's okay. But again, not excited at all for the upcoming season. Not really looking forward to getting rid of Zach LaVine. That's gonna, like you said, it could possibly get hairy. That could be pretty brutal, especially if feelings are hurt, then that'll definitely be reflected in Zach LaVine's gameplay. So yeah, not gonna be looking forward to that. Mid range, DeRozan for 2 and another double double. That doesn't mean anything from Vooch.
We
That's
lose by 50.
yep, by 50. Okay. Yeah. I guess we can talk about an actual, maybe a lot of hope, a lot of hopefulness here. Got the NHL draft right around the corner.
Oh,
Got the Blackhawks made a trade, making some moves. We can talk about that right here. Let me just actually pull it up. Uh, they're saying that the Bruins are clearing cap space, but if the Blackhawks can get a Hart Trophy winner out of it, not the worst. Former Hart Trophy winner Taylor Hall coming to the Blackhawks, and we're also gonna get we also had something on an unrestricted free agent who, again, not the worst player to have waiting in the wings as well.
mhm.
Why isn't any names popping up for me? I'm sorry, but that's okay. Again, pretty solid move. uh People, from what I've heard, people chirping, they're like, if we're doing this, why didn't we hold on to Kaner slash Jonathan Tays? Pump the brakes, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. That I'm okay. We like those names, obviously, but we were kind of, I was shooting the shit at class today, just talking sports with the boys. I'm in that boat where those names have come and gone. That time is spent. Jonathan Tays is much older. Patrick Kane's getting uh, hip resurfacing surgery. He just got that done a couple days ago. That's not something you're young, and even if you are young and spry, you're not going to just bounce right back up on. I know he was on some on some ice the other day, not actual skating ice, but he was on something. He was working out. But again, that's gonna be a long journey for him to recover. So get some new blood, get some new things going. This isn't the worst decision. A lot of people love this. And again, when we have just tomorrow, as we're recording tonight on a Tuesday, the draft is tomorrow. We're gonna have Connor Bedard at 6 p.m. sharp. I'm sure that they won't even be hesitating. As soon as the draft goes live, they're gonna have the little name written down, and it'll be handed up to the podium if that's still how they do it. Like, I know that's how they used to do it back in the day, but that's our guy. That's essentially it. Connor Bedard, that's the future. And I think that's essentially what you want to be going with. Don't look in the rearview mirror and try and get all the guys. We're still dealing with I think we're still paying Brent Seabrook money. So so stuff
Oh,
like that. I'm just joking, but just I'm very hopeful. A lot of people are very hopeful about the future. Essentially, the Hawks may have had one of the worst records on the year, but they were competitive, still competitive. So probably in a lot of games that we shouldn't have been, probably won a couple of games that we shouldn't have. But this is going to be nice. So very
oh
hopeful
yeah.
on this. Very hopeful upcoming Blackhawks games. Hopefully, probably not right away, but again, within the next couple seasons, as long as they do it right, build right. Again, the Golden Knights just did it in 6 years. I think the Hawks can probably turn around in 3 or 4 years and get back onto a Stanley Cup. So there you go. There's that. Let me try and pull up. I wish I knew the exact details, but again, from what I understand, the Hawks basically got a steal out of this. So a lot of happy Hawks fans with this. And just the question of, obviously it's a layup at number one, getting Connor Bedard from Regina. Love saying that, from the WHL. But at number 19, Yahoo Sports has us taking another center, Riley Height, from Prince Georgia. Let's see. With Bedard in the bag, love that. Why not take a crack at someone who can add another punch on offense? Question mark. You can never have too much skill and height. And Heidt, Heidt, that's how you spell his last name, has high end vision and scoring abilities. If you were shifted to the wing, Heidt is one of the best playmakers out there and could feed Bedard in the future or run on a second line.
Hmm.
Love that. Again, it doesn't sound like the Hawks can go wrong with anything besides not taking Connor Bedard at one. So uh, that was basically all I had on that. What were your thoughts? Anything that just on the Hawks future, and then just what we're looking forward to draft wise?
It's exciting. I mean, yeah, just a lot of people in the office are hockey fans, so they're always talking about that stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a fun time to be a Blackhawks fan again. It might be on the up and up. It's looking like, so it's gonna be it's gonna be good.
Definitely. I believe season tickets were flying off the shelf. I know those were in high demand. That's going to be bad.
Oh yeah.
Hockey's back in Chicago. Excuse me, Blackhawks. Blackhawks. Hockey's back. A lot of words. Yeah. I'm not gonna fall in love with Riley Height if that is who we end up snagging at 19, but I mean, Connor Bedard, that's the future. That's what everyone's harping about for a good reason. If he's this generational talent that we all know, then that's what we want. And I'm glad that the NHL writers were able to rig it and give the Hawks and give Chicago hope again. So very nice of them. Very nice of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, I wish maybe Bill can be on sometime soon. Maybe afterwards again, just to recap the draft, I suppose, or just set us up for Blackhawks season preview or something sometime soon. He'll definitely have better insight on that when it
Yeah.
comes to all this. But I know I'm smart enough to know that it's going to be exciting again. There you go. There we go. That's what we got on that one. Like I said, any final thoughts lingering on the NHL and on the draft itself? Maybe I don't know. There's probably not too much controversy coming in, like who's gonna go second or third. I couldn't tell you really.
Yeah, that's
even the most educated hockey fan might not be in the know in the loop on that. So maybe I can maybe hang my hat up on that one for that. So either way, it's going to be exciting. The draft is over the course of the next 2 days. So, or on Wednesday and Thursday. So check it out. I
Oh
know that
yeah.
again, the Hawks have basically the first pick in every single round. And I don't know how, yeah. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of movement, a lot of opportunity for the Hawks to not only snag the guys that they need to, but keep maybe moving back, collecting draft picks along the way, collecting draft picks in the future. Because again, if you have the pick at the beginning of each round, essentially, it's a nice little spot to have. So love that, love it. And again, final thought lingering on that, just front office, so far so good. You guys are killing it. Righto, right away. If you're good on NHL, we can hop over to some quick MLB. You good with that?
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
good.
cool. A mini White Sox check in, but more or less, just wanted to talk about for the sake of time, just kind of wanted to talk about the hit and run that happened outside of guaranteed rate field for those that are unaware. During this was Tuesday night, about a week ago against the Texas Rangers. There was a hit and run outside of guaranteed rate field. And I'm reading this from ABC 7 WLS. A judge set a bond of $200,000 for a 20-year-old man charged in a hit and run outside of guaranteed rate field before the Sox game on Tuesday. I'm going to fuck this name up for sure. Candelorius Garcia has been charged with 4 felony counts of aggravated reckless driving and 1 misdemeanor count of driving with a suspended license, along with several other citations. So, sounds like this person is absolutely cooked for good
Good.
reason. For good reason, absolutely. I mean, this is a quote from Jeremy Jansen's father, one of the victims. Obviously, he needs to be charged. He said. I mean, I don't know if this was intentional, if this was intentional or not. Is completely unacceptable. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. From what I understand, fled the situation. The person Candelorius Garcia was able to make it onto the highway, basically right as you get off, right as you leave the Sox game when you're getting onto oh Jesus,
Oh, I suck with
I
roads.
know what's the high um oh my goodness, why can't I
I just know stuff by
The Dan
landmarks
Ryan
and
Expressway. Thank you very much. That's what it was. Just reading through it. So Charles was tossed into the vehicle's sunroof cling. Oh, so the person was hanging onto the sunroof until they got onto the expressway
what?
where state troopers ultimately stopped it. Let's see. Yeah,
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
unless I'm interpreting it wrong again, Charles was tossed into the vehicle's sunroof, clinging on as it sped off onto the dam. Okay, so maybe he got off of it as they got onto the
Someone
highway.
was on his car?
Yes, he was on top of his car. They got
Holy shit.
yeah, they hit four people, uh, and like I said, luckily they were able to find him. They were able to charge him and everything, and yeah, that is unbelievable. I hope for not only just because you hit some Sox fans, and maybe a little bias right there, but just because you did a hit and run. That's a no-no, my friend. You go to jail. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. You do not get to jump. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. You go straight to jail. Yeah, that's basically just an update right there. Very unfortunate. Yeah, those officers out there, they work hard. They're even, I think it was like I said, before the game was even going on. So they you respect the workers, respect them when they're putting up the hands. There's a lot of foot traffic. Again, it gets a little tiresome, a little aggravating some, but not enough to plow through 4 different people and then think it's going to be okay and think I'm going to get away with it. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy to think at anybody, whether you're just like, I don't know, trying to rob a convenience store or think you can just get away with an accident. Like everything's on camera. There's nothing that you can. I don't know where people think they get the. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. Maybe because I'm not a criminal. Like I don't think like that. I don't know. Still movies. That's about it. Yeah,
But you're right. You can't. I don't know what he was thinking. He wasn't thinking.
no, absolutely not. Yeah, that's a tough one. Like I said, I believe like it read 20 years old. Yeah, that's
Wow.
yeah, 20-year-old man charged with hit and run. That is it's a tough one. Tough one for sure.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, just you gotta learn better.
Oh, he'll
Uh,
learn.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. This will be an expensive lesson for sure. For the sake of time, I had a minor White Sox check in, but nothing really to get into. I don't really want to get my blood pressure up on this team. They suck. There's nothing as of now. There's nothing that
The
screams to
hope.
me that they're gonna go on some sort of run other than you know the Rick Hahn pulling out the checkbook and finally trading for someone of interest with with some star power. Possibly, we don't really need a pitching staff. It's just again when we've had four different accounts of people going out with 16 strikeouts or more, and they've lost all those games. It's disappointing. They're going out. I've compared it to Jose Quintana starts when he would go out, shell a team for 8 innings, only give up 1 run or 2 runs, and then he would end up losing that game. Just very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
It's like Otani. It's just like or like yeah, we'll cook people up and then just Angels completely suck ass. So
Yeah, yeah, it's tough when we're playing them in this series and they get winged last night on a walk off wild pitch, which I felt it in the bottom of my stomach as soon as Eloy hit into the double play and the White Sox got it. They didn't score anything in the top of the ninth and they went, that's over. White Sox lose. We'll see you tomorrow. I mean, Raylo continues to pitch. So I was like, oh yeah, no, it's for certain. It's in the cards. It's gonna happen. Sure enough, it does. Yeah, the White Sox offense just has not been hitting. Luis Robert, I love that one comparison of like the Lamborghini in the really shitty apartment or really shitty house. That's him right now. He's Jordan on the 86 Bulls. He's just head and shoulders above everybody. Finally, his first 20 home run season, and he does it before the All-Star game break, which is pretty impressive. Hasn't done that since Abreu did it in 2014, 2015. So that's pretty cool.
wow.
Pretty solid list to be on between him, Konerko, Thomas, and a couple other power sluggers on the White Sox. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, unless the White Sox get some sort of bat, probably not going to happen. We're going to be sellers at the deadline, and I'll say it if I didn't already say it on Friday. I'm okay. You probably have to sell Tim Anderson. So
Wow.
probably have to see him go. I don't know. He's just no pop. There's no nothing. Expensive, and I mean, doesn't have a home run. Does nothing. No spaghetti dinners.
Wow.
And yeah, it's brutal. He's at Benintendi's worked into hitting first in the leadoff. Uh, he played second base the other day. It was weird. It's been a weird year for Tim Anderson. And then of course, I know everyone wants to harp on him for his baby mama drama off the field. So a lot of things going on. Yeah, what were they going to do with the deadline? Probably sellers, and then yeah, just like I said, Luis Robert absolutely killing it, but all for naught. We'll probably see him in Seattle, not as a Mariner, but during the All-Star game. I hope we hold. If we're holding on to anybody, I hope it's Luis Robert, Andrew Vaughn, Jake Berger, and Dylan Cease, and I could still see Dylan Cease possibly getting yoinked off, but I
Huh.
don't know. I think it would be in the White Sox best interest to hold on to at least those four. And
Yeah.
Lynn can go, Giolito can go for the right price. Kopech can possibly go, but I still like Kopech a little bit. The only thing he gives up is home runs. He doesn't really get a lot of people on base. So as long as he doesn't walk anybody and you only give up like 1 or 2 solo shots, that's basically the best bet out of Kopech. But yeah.
The
Yeah.
magic is gone from this team.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. And you can point at it in all directions. I don't want to make any excuses. We had the White Sox had a solid lineup of just absolute killers on paper. The White Sox should be leading this division, but injuries, haven't been able to play all at the same time, and tons of other things. But again, I say it about tons of other times. The White Sox aren't the only team that experience injuries, so not being able to put it together, it's no excuse. They should have been able to do it in the amount of time that they've had, and they haven't been able to. Very disappointing. And like I said, with the roster that the White Sox had, they should have been able to do it. Seeing that they're not doing it, the White Sox should have opened up the checkbook and paid somebody else. And we got they got Benintendi. But that's not enough. He shouldn't be the highest paid free agent in White Sox history. It's just shouldn't be. Yeah, again, that leaves my mouth, and it shouldn't be real, but it is.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. So something earthquakingly just needs ties. Seismatic. I don't know. Something needs to be shake up the earth for the White Sox to actually get in there. And I mean, just saw the Reds have a 12 game winning streak, and the Giants basically 11 games all simultaneously. The White Sox can turn it around and become 500 like that. It's not impossible for teams to turn it around. When again, they have the easiest schedule remaining after the All-Star break, or even I think mathematically as of right now, still the easiest schedule in
Okay.
terms of win percentage. So it's possible, but is it realistic? I don't know. I really I no, at this point no. Unless, like I said, those things that I already mentioned need to happen. We need a new bat. We need some new life. We thought getting Liam Hendricks, that would probably get put a pep in someone's step, and for a little time that it did, but it's not enough. There's some sort of dark cloud lingering over the White Sox roster that just can't break through, and they can't break the seal. So don't know what it is. A funk, lack of coaching, managing, something, lack of paying the talent that you need. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So that's the White Sox check-in. Not any final thoughts.
Um, I don't even know. I wish them the best the rest of the season. I hope that they can turn it around, but it
Again,
doesn't.
still a lot of time to turn around. I don't want to doom and gloom, but that's seems to be what it is every single time.
Yeah, I mean, every time that it seemed like that there's been a chance, they just go and lose like another series or just lose constantly. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It might be getting too late for them to have that chance, but I mean, it's not too late. They can do
No,
it,
it
but
isn't,
I mean,
because
you get what I'm.
we say this, and they're only I haven't looked at it, but 6 games out of the division, because the Twins are brutal and they're playing some pretty solid teams. The Guardians, again, not that great, and then if we're like neck and neck with the Tigers, that's disgusting. But I think we beat the Tigers more or less. So I hate it. I hate it. It sucks. It's so stupid. Shouldn't be like this. Shouldn't be like this in any which way. But I think on to greener and better pastures, I would like to talk some wrestling, some actual good stuff that happened over the weekend. I felt like I was basically at my brother's all weekend, between his annual block party, killing it over there, and then running it back and going over there for Forbidden Door. That was pretty awesome. What a solid night of wrestling. I mean, we can go through I feel like we can go through the whole card, just breeze through what we really want to, but gotta hit the high spots. I'll just, like I said, the pre-show was decent. The only thing I really want to talk and just lightly mention was the Logan Paul El Phantasmo comparisons online. Did you see any of those?
No.
Uh, just the idea that El Phantasmo was just like a cracked out Wish version of Logan Paul. It's just people were harping it either way. Again, it's just I thought it was funny. Yeah, I'm not going to compare Logan Paul and El Phantasmo. They're two different.
Yeah,
It
what?
it's too different of a thing. But again, it's just the fact that they kind of look alike that the internet was popping with that. So anything to compare AEW and WWE, it's the opportunity will be taken.
Huh.
Uh, Again, that was more or less the Jeff Cobb, Kyle Fletcher, and TJP. I think they actually lost to Los Ingredibles de Japón. Athena beat Billy Starks, and then the Mogul Embassy beat El Desperado and Chaos.
Hmm.
So that was that. I know. I'll get to this one. I'll just get to the ones that we really want to talk about. MJF and Hiroshi Tanahashi opens it. I'll just get to my thought was MJF had to carry that match. Hiroshi Tanahashi, we saw on if you watched on Saturday, if you watched Collision, he looks so stiff. He looks so bad against Swerve. I don't know. Realistically, Swerve should have gotten the win. He kind of hurts him. I feel like it kind of hurts him a little bit, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. MJF puts together a pretty solid heel match, heel spots, gets the ring, does the cheating bits, everything in between, slows it down. And like I said, that was all for MJF to carry. Hiroshi Tanahashi kind of sucked the wind out of it and
Yeah.
was a little lax, but yeah, not the best match. Again, kind of chalk it up to MJF, another MJF type win with the ring. So as an MJF fan, wasn't disappointed. I know I kind of already knew going in that he was gonna have to carry it and do what it was. So a good performance on him. Loved everything that he did. All the spots right there. Having and New Japan as an indie. Have the one you
Yeah.
pointed out on his elbow pad. What did it say? Ace's ass.
Yeah.
It's the little things with him that are absolutely amazing. So got to give it to him every single time. And then
Of
him, like I said,
course.
him getting the win makes sense. Gotta keep going with that. No reason to put the AEW title on the New Japan guy and fuck everything up that you've been doing storyline wise. So this is good and then funny that the scheduled tweet I have already should have beaten Tanahashi by now, and everyone's like, "You're still wrestling." So
What a fool.
you're an idiot.
This is real.
So yeah, that was again solid opener. And yeah, anytime I'll see MJF, that's a-okay with me. Any thoughts on this opener match?
Tanahashi, should you go to sleep somewhere? I don't know. Maybe a retirement home?
Yeah, you were not a fan of these older New Japan guys coming in and
No.
oh,
That's the one thing I always talk
yeah,
shit about WWE. It's always so I'm not gonna let AEW get a pass. I hate when it's like Goldberg, like all these, I don't care I don't care. They're like legends. They can't wrestle anymore and they're just dragging the younger guys down.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It was clear that, like you said, Tanahashi a little older, couldn't really move all that much, and yeah, it takes away for sure. It definitely hurts rather than helps, and
and then you follow that match with CM Punk and Kojima. You put another two old guys they couldn't have started the show off like,
any slower, I suppose. Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Could yeah, the Punk match that good. Another solid for Punk. Another his first singles match in some time. But yeah, Kojima not the best. He puts on a pretty solid performance, just like he was going and just do just the some visuals like that. But again, not moving around, not the most agile. And then CM Punk, he's again a little older too. He's not flipping and flying. He's not doing any cruiserweight style moves either. But he did what he played up to the heel role at this point, doing I don't know if you saw doing the push up, almost into claps, but that was actually some people were alluding to thinking that it was kind of making fun of Shawn Michaels, not uh, throwing it up to Shawn Michaels doing the hump on the flag, on the Canadian flag back in the day.
Hmm.
Tons and tons of stuff. He was hitting Kojima in the corner with he's like Kojima, lariat. That was a callback to one of his shoot promos he did with Samoa Joe. So again, tons of stuff. There's always a history lesson every time CM Punk has a match now. So or again, yeah, it's been pretty good. So that was again, not the best match. Not gonna sit there and say like, oh my god, 5-star. No, it was a good match and continued his way in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. So that was one of those type matches. That's shaping up to be pretty decent. I don't know if they're going to be going for him and CM Punk and Samoa Joe in the final, but it looks like that's going to be the next round or something like that after Roderick Strong and Samoa Joe have a match. So
the final will be CM Punk and Clicky, and then CM Punk will officially turn heel or something.
That's not the worst. That's not the worst decision. That is not the worst decision.
Win low blowing Clicky or something. And then he can celebrate on stage with Sky Blue because she's gonna have won the women's championship.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
The two people from Chicago, CM Punk and Sky Blue. It's perfect. Just like how they had Adam Cole and Britt Baker on the stage when they won last year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what they were gonna end up going for. That'd be pretty good. Let's see if you're good on that. Might be a little out of order. But we can just go with the stuff that we like, honestly. I'm not gonna sit here. I mean, Tony Storm, Willow Nightingale, that's fine. Oh. Tony Storm retains, nothing too much there. The Fatal 4-Way with Cassidy, Zack Sabre Jr., Garcia, and Shibata for the International Championship. I went ahead and I actually had to go take a dump towards the end, so I missed the actual ending. But the overall, the Daniel Garcia spot that's been going viral in the beginning of him just getting chopped and exactly just doing his little dance move. So that was cool. I feel like they should have gave it to Daniel Garcia, but I can see also why.
I don't blame nobody. That's his theme song. Yeah. I don't know what it's.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. I mean, this has been fine. You couldn't have really gone wrong other than I suppose maybe Orange Cassidy retaining, and of course the Orange Cassidy retains. It wasn't a cluster. I mean, that's all. That's all. I guess I'll take away from
I loved it.
Yeah, overall, pretty solid match. Nothing too much.
I mean, again, just from the first two matches we got, I immediately was like, okay, let's, because I think they followed that after the two first matches, so it was just like, okay, let's get it going now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. A little bit of high flying. Orange Cassidy's flying through the ropes. That's when I feel like you were right. That's when they first got a bigger pop, just because they were like a lot of people were moving around in this match. It wasn't just two straight up two singles matches and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So let's see that I think that match that preceded it afterward, was that the 10-man right after that one, or
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it was around there.
Yeah, if not, it doesn't really matter. Little confusing. We ran this back, kind of talk about like Eddie Kingston's role between, is he trying to save Jon Moxley? Is he trying to beat up Jon Moxley? Like I said, a little convoluted. I felt like this was, in terms of Young Bucks matches, maybe something my brother mentioned, maybe Matt Jackson probably still wasn't 100%. So it didn't really feel like a Young Bucks match, maybe a couple of spots here and there, but kind of felt like they were just crammed in there for the sake of cramming people in there. A lot of this on the New Japan AEW show. I feel like if they're going to go for a third one, I feel like we'll just get our overall thoughts on it at any time that we want. Just if we're going to do a third one, pull it back. We don't need 14 matches. I get it. You got a lot of talent. You want to showcase a lot of things. Maybe you have to contractually, you got to get X amount of talent and X amount of talent from both, just so it's, nice and even keel and worth it for both companies. But 14 matches, it takes a toll on everybody. The viewer at home, the crowd at the fucking venue, most likely the talent that's got to, mentally prepare themselves for, they just saw a 40-minute banger with Will Ospreay and Omega, followed up with a pretty shitty 6-man tag. And then now Danielson and Okada have to follow that up. It's a little hairy. If we would have went back to back, just banger matches on a much smaller card, it would have been just as impactful. So again, Tony Khan, while you hit a lot, you kind of you miss sometimes too. So I mean, you gotta call balls and strikes, gotta call everything here. So I feel as
Sometimes you
though,
don't need to book so much.
yeah, while the matches were again like everything, nothing was really awful other than maybe like I said the Sting, Naito and Darby versus
Oh.
Les Suzuki gods. That was
Oh
pretty
yeah, it
brutal.
started to get really
And it
bad near
fell
the end.
apart at the end like a bad like oh god when your burrito gets all soggy and you're just trying to pick that up, it's just that was basically
I
bad.
remember getting up right at the end just to go to the bathroom, like, thank God that ended.
Yeah, it was again just stuff like as much as we love seeing Sting and I guess our first time seeing Sting and Jericho, do it like that. Build it up in such a way that we don't need all the other bells and whistles and
Again, it's a
everything
bunch of
else.
old guys. Like again, we
Yeah,
love these guys. I get it. But it's a Sting, Jericho, Knight. Like all these guys are old as fuck in the
yeah.
ring to end the match, and they were all messing up their spots. And it's, I mean, what do you
It
expect?
doesn't. Yeah, it didn't help that Sammy did come down on Sting and probably almost killed him. It definitely crushed and
Again,
probably
how's
broke
that?
some
That's not
ribs.
Sammy's
It's
fault.
not
Sting
Sammy's
didn't get
fault.
out of the way.
Not Sammy's fault. It is like you said, a little older. So Sting's timing was off for sure. And you know what? Something that you said there, and it kind of resonated with me for sure. The lore of the New Japan guys, at least Suzuki and Ishii, I kind of lost a little bit of its luster. I didn't need to see Minoru Suzuki this time. I was kind of in the same boat as you. Uh, uh,
Yeah, it's funny.
build
Like I was just like, Cosme, you know, like yeah, like we just like I said, we've seen him so
like we've
many
seen, yeah,
times
exactly,
now.
we've
It's like,
seen this episode, we know what he's up to. He was again just in there for filler, and I didn't feel like I needed to see him. I wanted still him and Suzuki versus Ishii live at the Windy City, the New Japan show at the Odeum. That was awesome. That was an awesome match to see. But again, it's
oh
just,
yeah.
I guess, the law of diminishing returns. And when we also kind of knew that he wasn't the focal point, that he's probably gonna be taking, putting his feet up a little bit on this one. Yeah, don't need to be booking everyone all at once. It was a lot. No need for 10-man tags and 6-mans and everything else. Just if we're gonna do that, make it meaningful. Is basically what I
Yeah.
wanted from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
I'm kind of thinking we didn't have FTR on this card. Could have
Wow.
had a perfect opportunity for something like that.
Them against like the best tag team and NJPW or
Yeah,
something. I
could have
don't
ran something with that, but instead, like I said, we got Sting, Darby, and Naito versus the Suzuki gods.
Sometimes
And
it's hard to, I could see it's hard to book something for, I mean, they're working opposite companies, so you can't really build up stuff or, like
oh
they,
yeah, no, this is the definition of the show that's like cold build. Like there's a little bit. It's they have to run it really tight, and it's all gonna end as soon as the pay-per-view ends, because anything lingering after, besides maybe Omega and Osprey, which of course that's what we're gonna highlight basically right after this, but yeah, anything and no real no, the storylines aren't going to continue afterwards, so it needs to be a cold build, but again, it needs to execute right away. You need something. You need everything. And having a bunch of 10-man tags that you barely get to see everyone do their thing, that doesn't get it done. If it's going to be meaningful, it's going to be the two main event matches that we had in Omega and Will Ospreay, and then Danielson and Okada. The only other thing I think I wanted to mention lightly that we didn't get to was Jungle Boy turning heel at the end of the Sonata match, which again, that was more or less the highlight. This is a solid match. I liked Taz's commentary now, thinking about it, was like it was a little over the top, a little out of character for him to be like, you know, oh, Sonata's so disrespectful for, this was an open challenge and he was disrespecting Jungle Boy for what? For answering an open challenge? I was like, okay, yeah, all right, for sure. Hell yeah, Taz, pro AEW. And then for him to flip on Jungle Boy right at the end because he hurts his kid, he hurts his boy, he turns on Hook. Spoiler. He's like, oh, that son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Just everything else in between. So maybe I just overlooking that, just kind of thinking about that, but no, I can't think of anything too crazy from the match, but that was basically the highlight, was Jungle Boy turning heel. Finally, yeah, I think this is a fresh start. I like this. I like that they're going to go in this direction of, maybe pissed off Jungle Boy. I like it. You making fun of us doing the thing. I guess I'm gonna have to change my Twitter profile now. I'm
No.
not gonna do that ever. That's gonna stay until I'm 50. So yeah,
Hey, you were on a WW. Those are forbidden words. You're on AEW pay-per-view.
yeah, absolutely. I'm on a DVD, dude. I can run it back whenever. So yeah, that was that. I again, thumbs up on the match, a thumbs up on the heel turn. That was that. I think, and the disappointing news of Adam Cole and Tom Lawler. Tom Lawler able to have a dark match against El Serpentico. Not equivalent,
Oh
but
my
just
god.
nice. Just nice that Tom Lawler was able to come out and enjoy the time. And he followed up on Twitter with a pretty funny tweet. He took a picture of like how long his copy of AEW Fight Forever is going to take. It's going to take him an extra week to get to his house. Somebody's like, "It's at this rate, I'll never fight Adam Cole, son of a bitch." That was a pretty good tweet. So go follow Tom Lawler for shit like that, and probably one of the best theme songs in wrestling right now. So definitely pro Tom Lawler over here. Filthy Tom Lawler, go get you some.
He will take your song.
All right, enough of that. We're gonna get taken off YouTube. Uh, I feel like we gotta save the best for last. Gotta probably talk about Kenny and Osprey last. So Okada and Danielson. I mean, the reports coming afterward. Danielson has a fractured forearm 10 minutes into the match. So he's automatically, fucking one of the badasses of all time in my book. Makes Okada tap for the first time since Shinsuke Nakamura made him tap. So that was a fun little stat to hear about.
Wow.
In over 8 years, he hasn't tapped out in 8 years.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, phenomenal match. He gets the final countdown here in the Scotiabank Arena. Go the final
Down.
and then of course the comments from Tony Khan. That was as
Oh,
expensive as a wrestler's contract to have that. So that's a one and done deal right there. Throwing the final countdown up there. I think by Europe. So goes to show you, kids that want to be musicians, you can either reach for the stars, be like a band like Rolling Stones or the Beatles or Metallica, be relevant for decades, even after your music is done, or you can just be a one-hit wonder and sell your best song out, whore it out, pimp it out like Europe does. And here you go, the final countdown. So that's that. Reach for the stars, kiddos. Whatever you want to do on that. Yeah,
there's
that's
Brian Danielson's arm snapped.
yeah, out 6 to 8 weeks. Again, what a dog for carrying, just having such a phenomenal match. Getting through what they
Reposted that
could.
picture today and said it's probably worse than they thought.
Oh
So
wow, yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that's
obviously wish for the best, but yeah, not good news. She said it probably was worsened after wrestling 10 plus more minutes after it had already broke. But
yeah. I mean, that's definitely not going to help it. I wouldn't think.
he tapped Okada out with a broken freaking arm.
Yeah, I did like that. He had his face on Kurt Angle's body today. That one was good. Overall phenomenal match. I was very surprised that they not only tapped but tapped clean. The match didn't end with any BCC shenanigans and anything like that. Phenomenal, and yeah, the kicking out of the Rainmaker, everything, the yes chants, the yes kicks is Great match. I mean, honestly, between the Danielson, Okada, the Osprey, obviously, I guess on Osprey and Omega, we'll get to that. And then the first two matches, the Punk and MJF match, that was basically worth the pay per view. And then the Fatal 4-Way kind of helped out. It was pretty decent. Nothing like too crazy from the women's match, but overall pretty solid. And then, like I said, the Jungle Boy Sonata, good, not great. The only thing that I would take away from there, like I said, it was the 10-man tag and the 6-man tag. Not big fans of at all. But countered it all. I'm sorry. Did you have any thoughts on Okada Danielson before I move on to the last match? Or
I felt like it was moving kind of weird, but I understand why after the news came out. So
yeah,
that's really, I was like, that ended kind of weird. It just felt weird near the end, but
yeah,
it makes sense. They were just
definitely,
playing it safe.
definitely. Probably switched it up. A lot of audibles called after his arm is broken. Probably doesn't know it right away, but just hey, I'm all fucked. Uh, between that and again, little late, and they just experienced a 40-minute banger. The crowd did, so I would think a little gassed was the crowd, not as much of a reaction as they should have gotten to what should have been the main event, regardless of who would have won. Omega and Osprey, another match of the year candidate without a doubt. I mean, again, they revisited everything. They got the shot. The Will Osprey had his shots to the head. Whether Omega got color real or not, we know Osprey for sure got real color. He was leaking like a faucet between the stare
Oh yeah.
shot and we saw, of course, just pouring out of his head. What a match! What a match! Everyone's playing back the Tiger Driver that is your background right now of Omega getting slammed on his neck, which I love. Everyone just the top like retweets and quote retweets are just like, "Hey, indie guys, don't do this. You will not be your insurance will not cover this. This is not a spot to be to reproduce." So there you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. So as much as you want to, ode to your favorite wrestlers and whatnot, don't recreate that spot. Do anything
Yeah,
else.
do not try that at home.
Do not try that at home. Um, I mean, yeah, I can't say what anybody else hasn't already said. Phenomenal, great. I mean, we got everything we wanted. If you're Canadian, probably not. But us Will Ospreay fans over here, and Omega fans, I kind of wanted Ospreay for sure, just because it'll extend the series. Maybe I know they'll
Yeah,
run it
for
back
sure.
run it back a third time, maybe at all
Well, that
in.
will for sure be the main event of All In, right?
I
I
would
think
hope
they
so,
proved it. I think they proved their worth after this.
without a doubt. That
And
definitely did.
now Will Ospreay will defend the title in his home place, right? Because he's from the UK. So
Yeah, yeah, yes. That would be, he would have hometown advantage in that sense. It's pretty great. This series has been awesome, and again, just that match was beyond worth the hype. It lived up to every expectation that we kind of set out for it to be. It was great. I'm trying to remember anything else that they, the the one, I don't know if it's just troll accounts or just the fake bot accounts. They're like that spot where he threw his head into the announce desk, that will be long forgotten after this happened. It's just like, clearly you didn't watch the first match. Clearly you just don't care. Like, that was obviously an ode to the first match. It was with that, but not everyone is up to date.
yeah,
Can't.
everyone in the comments was just like, "This, you're just a casual wrestling
Yeah,
fan."
yeah.
So
Just tell me. Yeah, exactly. I love that. Tell me you're a casual without telling me you're a casual. It's basically that. Uh, Overall, like I said, if you didn't enjoy this, then you don't like wrestling. I don't know. It's as
yeah.
simple as that. I crazy to think that anyone would hate on this, but yeah, this lived up to it in a hot arena and a hot crowd. They were on their feet the entire time during this match. So, absolute banger, phenomenal match, and I think the right guy got the win in this situation.
Oh yeah.
The one winged angel, Omega kicking out of his own move at 1. That was also pretty hype. I saw a take from wrestling to Barstool's wrestling Twitter page. This guy freaking out about false finishes. He's like, "You see this? 1, 2, 3. That means it's over. The finishing moves need to be finishing moves again." And I was just like, "Guy, L take beyond L take. I get it, but finishing moves are finishing moves. They still are. This ended with a finishing move, and whatnot. But to sit there and to act like I was under the impression that he's like, oh, like he knew that there was going to be a false finish. You never really go into matches and be like, oh, there's going to be this, and he's going to kick out of the one winged angel. He's going to do that. No, you're going to act like you're the smartest guy in the room and know you're going to know when all these false finishes going on.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh,
get out of here. No fucking way. Don't act like you're that much smarter than everybody else. So I'll take on the wrestling Twitter on Barstool
well,
Wrestling.
they're dumb as fuck
Oh
there.
yeah, I
So
know.
I mean,
I know the account's pretty brutal. They got some pretty bad takes, and I'm not really. I mean, Brandon Walker doesn't really. He does the interviews and whatnot, but he doesn't really take helm of the account. Even when he did host the show, he had some pretty brutal wrestling takes. Just old timey southern takes. Again, just
and
not
they'll
good.
post like some of the most pixelated pictures ever. I'm like, how do you like who approves this post? Like they are not they're just not good at what they do. I listened to it for a little too because I like Brandon Walker, but
Yeah.
yeah, it is not the best.
Yeah. Overall on Forbidden Door, if I'm gonna give it a grade, I'd probably say a B minus, a solid B. I
Wow.
mean, as much as the Okada and Danielson matches were great, along with Omega and Osprey, the 10-man tag and the 6-man tag, those were a little bit of an eyesore. So I kind of have to take away for a little bit on that, but everything else makes up for it. But nothing really stood out as all too crazy. Maybe just my we were kind of talking about this on the way home from my brother's place. Just maybe hard and a little too harsh. Even with calling it a B grade, it might be a little too harsh for some, even at my end. But uh, maybe it's just the idea that we set up these high expectations, and if it doesn't live up to it in the slightest, of course everyone online freaks out. But even sometimes I feel like that with myself every now and again, that it didn't live up to the smallest little expectation that I can, so I'm gonna hate on it or pull it back a little bit. But overall, yeah, like I said, if I'm giving it a solid grading and whatnot, B minus, B if it does some extra credit and get some stuff done, sets up some other matches and whatnot. All around pretty solid card. I would buy it again. I would watch it again for the matches I've already talked about. But final lingering thoughts, maybe an overall grade from you, plus thumbs up, thumbs down. Overall thoughts on Forbidden
Yeah,
Door.
I'll just say B. I'm gonna just say B. It was good. It was good, but yeah, it definitely has its matches that I'm not the biggest fan of. But the Will Ospreay and Kenny, that's good enough to give it a great rating, and all the other great matches that they had. So
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
Forbidden Door.
absolutely. Like I said, I'll just go back to my original thought of if you take away a couple matches and you don't exhaust the crowd and you get to the matches that everyone wants to see. We want to see put the AEW title, even if they want to boo, CM Punk's gonna be there, and of course the two main events for sure. Hell, you got to throw in the IWGP World Title, so not undrinkable stay, but probably shouldn't have been much more than that. Have the women's match on there as well, because that everyone has to be included for sure. But anything past that kind of was tossable. I would love to again. I would love to see if Adam Cole wasn't sick. Achoo! If Adam
Oh,
Cole was perfectly healthy, him and Tom Lawler would have been a nice little palate cleanser, little break in between. But anything else, I don't want to Again, 4 pre-show matches.
Yeah,
As
that's
good as they were, that's a lot. You're just that's a Rampage. That's almost a Dynamite without commercials, essentially. So just pull it back a little bit. I was definitely in that, like, my eyes were bigger than my stomach back in the day. We're like, oh my god, we're getting so many matches. I gotta be there at 5 o'clock, and I'm gonna be there till 11 o'clock. That ship has kind of sailed with me. I'm maybe just because I'm getting a little bit older. It's like I want to get there when the live show starts, and if there's a couple more pre-taped matches afterward, I'll stay for that. But I'm not gonna stay for Rampage, Dark, Elevation, and Ring of Honor, Tony. I can't do that. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed. I can't be in the city until 12:30. It's not doable. It's not fair. It's not if you're gonna do that, you gotta give me CM Punk,
oh,
FTR, Kenny Omega level talent every single time in every one of those matches, and that's not sustainable. You shouldn't do that. Not possible. So again, if sitting here, and maybe people were under the impression that we're, like I said, AEW marks or whatever, but criticism goes both ways. Like I said, I got to call balls and strikes right now, and right now I'm just in that phase of I don't want to not like it, so just give me a little bit less, just so maybe I want more or something like that. I don't know. You gotta pull it back a little bit. 14, 15 matches was a lot. So said my piece. That was Forbidden Door. Overall, solid. Loved it. Got a lot done and a lot to look forward to in the future, without a doubt. Coming up on a little bit later in the night, so had just kind of breeze through maybe the Money in the Bank talk if we
oh,
really wanted to. Just like I said, very quick,
yeah,
very
really quick about AEW. They said
oh
they're going to be back in Chicago
oh
for like
yes,
a whole week of wrestling.
yes,
So,
yes, yes.
so
Yeah,
thank you, Tony
we
Khan.
yeah, I believe, yeah, we'll get Dynamite Rampage on the 30th at the Now Arena, August 30th, and then September 1st and 3rd, or 2nd,
Yes.
3rd.
So first, so yeah, what a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever it
whatever
is.
that first Saturday, Sunday is in September. We will be getting Collision and All Out at the United Center back-to-back nights. So I threw this in our group chat earlier. I can only imagine that besides the pre-sale the day before, there's probably going to be a combo pack for the Collision and All Out, so you can sit
I
in.
figured as much.
Yeah, just so getting selling more seats as fast as they can, as productively as they can. So our asses will be there as soon as
Yeah.
the commercial came up. Our credit cards were out and ready to roll. So just name it, give me a time and a place, and I think they're already set. July 7th for the Dynamite and Rampage, and then July 14th the tickets go on sale for Collision and All Out. So be set, ready to roll. Be set, ready to roll. Another fun times in Chicago. Loving all that. Yeah, if you were good on that, you can quickly breeze over the Money in the Bank card / I just want to lightly mention the new rule, if it was a new rule, or just the new encouraged thing that they're trying to do with the Money in the Bank, and get your thoughts on it. I think it's an absolute travesty that they're not only encouraging, but going to push the idea that they could go for the Intercontinental / United States Championship. I thought that would have just been a one-off with Austin Theory, but no, I feel like that's going to be the trend now, that whoever wins this between LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Booch, Santos Escobar, and Ricochet, and Damian Priest. Whoever wins that will most likely not be going for the Universal title. So God forbid Roman Reigns actually get some heat on him, or potentially lose that in any sort of way. That's just already going to be set up for WrestleMania again. So boring.
Yeah, it's just don't look at try to avoid all attention to him
Yeah.
until WrestleMania.
Yeah, and again, maybe not even getting eyes on the world heavyweight title on Seth Rollins' side. But again, yes, gonna encourage them to go for the IC title, for Gunther's IC title, or whoever even has the United States champion at this point.
I think it's Gunther, yeah.
Yeah, I think Gunther still is the IC. Does Austin Theory still the United States
Yeah, I
champion?
think so.
Okay, that tells us as
I
much.
mean, yeah, I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah, but yeah, I just more or less, like I said, was just baffled. I was like, wow, really? We're just gonna not encourage them to go for this world heavyweight title, even if it is gonna be a losing effort. Like, try. I don't know. It's such a wasted effort that you're like, I'll go for the mid card title. I'm not gonna go for the title that we all want, that we're all salivating over. Nah, I'll go for the second. I'll go for the fourth best title that we have on this show. I mean, for real. What are we doing here?
Don't challenge Roman
Yeah,
because you're gonna lose. So
yeah, exactly. Coming out of there, I mean, I would want Shinsuke Nakamura, but that ship has sailed on him. They
he's
should
done.
give it to LA Knight, but considering that they,
Yeah.
yeah, considering that the fans want that, they're probably going to give it to Damian Priest. So I would think that's probably going to be the thing. They're very much going to tease Logan Paul getting it. They're very much going to tease LA Knight probably getting it, but it's most likely going to be Damian Priest. I got a small inkling that that's going to be it. I
It's
mean,
such a WWE thing, like you said, just because everyone loves LA Knight, they'll have like Logan Paul win or something stupid as fuck.
just
So
to
like,
spite everybody. It's just every time. It's every time. And I get it. You can't give everybody what they want every single time, but the LA Knights white hot right now. It's beyond red hot. Like it's he I can also get under the impression of like, oh, maybe it's the chase for the title is gonna be bigger than him actually winning the title, but you don't know until you fucking try. I don't know, man. That's it's kind of ridiculous. They're just not jumping on the opportunity just because he's 40. I mean, they've put all their eggs in a bunch of older people's baskets before and expected more, but whatever, dude. It's really whatever at this point. So, in my opinion, Damian Priest wins that because nobody wants that to happen. On the women's side of the women's ladder, Money in the Bank, Io Sky, Bailey, Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark, Becky Lynch, Zelina Vega, and that's it. Bailey was scheduled to put on her spot of the match in the but she lost to Shotzi. But okay, I don't know who's in this. So yeah, Io Sky, Bailey, Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark, Becky Lynch, Zelina Vega. Probably gonna be looking at it. Probably gonna have a spot for Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. I don't think Trish Stratus gets it, so probably gonna be Becky Lynch, and that'll ultimately put her back into the title picture, something like that. That could be my only guess. I really don't know.
Yo, Sky wins it.
That's possible too. That is possible too. Uh, yeah, I mean Zelina Vega, hopeful, but probably not going to happen. Zoe Stark, who that was
Who?
she was the one that helped Trish Stratus beat Becky Lynch at
Zoe 101?
yeah. Ooh, you see me standing here. I saw the preview for that. How weird is that going to
It
be?
looks so. I mean, I'm a big. I would watch that show a lot, but that's movie trailer.
I'm running it back with Yessie. She's watching it. I catch it. I catch it when I can with
I
her.
would
So
watch it a lot, but that trailer seemed. I don't know.
it
I'm
seemed really
not.
corny. It seemed really. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
It seemed very stupid. If I'm just like, I was like, this seems so dumb. This just seems completely
Fake
pointless.
boyfriend. I gotta trick him. They're gonna just bang at the end of the episode. At the end of the episode, end of the
Yeah, and it's
movie.
just so
Anyways.
obvious that they're gonna get back together, like her and Chase or whatever. It's just
Ooh ooh ooh.
it's
There you go. Transitioned into Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. The Bloodline Civil War, as they say. And boy, oh boy, am I sleeping on it. I'm snoring. I could not give a fuck about this match or anything in between or anybody involved. This storyline has jumped the shark in all sorts of
It's
aspects.
just the story that they can latch onto where Roman isn't defending his title or isn't in a high stake situation where it's just yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to be one of the main events. the Usos versus Roman and Solo Sikoa. Like it's gonna be shit. It's gonna I don't if
Yeah,
they're
I'm not at all looking forward to it. Not very much looking forward to it at all. Let's see. Heavyweight championship Rollins and Balor. You know what? For what it's worth, I don't know the full storyline and whatnot, but these two will probably put on a pretty solid matchup. I can't go. You can't really go wrong with Seth Rollins. He's a pretty solid worker. Hate on his character, hate on how he talks like a cigarette, but you can do that. But you get again at the end of the day, solid performances. As long as Finn Balor, stays healthy. Again, he had the torn. It was a torn pec or not a torn pec, but he had a torn bicep, tricep in the Hell in a Cell or something. Or something. I don't know. He was all banged up. But at the end of the day, as long as everyone's healthy, that could be a solid matchup. That could probably end up stealing the night and be the actual best performance, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go. I think that'll be a pretty solid match, but Rollins will most likely retain.
Finn Balor wins it.
Okay, there you go. All right,
Gets revenge on Seth from back in the day from the Universal Championship match.
Ooh, that's right. Oh, you're right about that one. They probably even talked about that in their promos, I'm sure. If they didn't, shame on them. Let's see. Second to last, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I guess they're the women's tag champions once again versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. I don't care. I simply do not care. I don't. I'm not even gonna waste any more time on it. You got anything? I'm good. All right, thank you very much. Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio.
What?
Yeah, no, that is happening. That is happening. I love that this was thrown up there. This is what as much as we're gonna get Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar matches, but this was there was also the potential for this crap right here. So however you want to spin zone Cody Rhodes' legacy,
he's tarnished it.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's an ultimate world ender right here, but this is definitely an eyesore at the end of the day. Like you could have had potential, you could have had CM Punk, or you could have had throwing it back and maybe actually wrestle Omega.
Wrestling Okada or something. Like could have been doing something insane at Forbidden Door right now, but instead this is what you get.
Yeah. Yep.
You're gonna be wrestling on a show that's gonna be not as watched as much as UCW. So there you go.
Yeah, essentially. That was basically my takeaway from that. It was just I can't believe that I mean, one, if you're excited for that's
not good.
That's you gotta worry about that. But there's definitely tons and tons of matches we just threw out there in these past 3 seconds that should have had a bunch of other potential matches at Forbidden Door that you could have had. But I feel like that's just Cody. He had the opportunity to book himself in AEW, booked himself into a corner. He's fine with shit ideas and
it's all on him. That's why I don't feel bad at all. Because
I do not at all.
On him.
Yeah. That's basically the card. Like I said, besides the Money in the Bank matches, nothing pops out as anything must see for me. All the time with these pay-per-views, premium live events. I'll never get over that. These are just bona fide stretched out SmackDowns and Raws that have less talking, a little bit more action, I suppose. So yeah, every time. I mean, like I said, not crazy looking forward to Money in the Bank. I'm sure there'll be good spots between the Money in the Bank matches and Seth Rollins and Finn Balor's matchup, but nothing too much. Nothing too much. The only thing I would say, like I said, is this is what we're looking for. Like when it comes in terms of amount of matches, maybe not the this isn't the juicy, the steak that we all want. There's some really shit matches here, but get it down to 7 or 8 matches in a pay-per-view card with 1 or 2 pre-show matches, Tony, and then we're good. Then we're okay. We love it. We love seeing everybody as much as we can, but you got to pull it back. This is kind of a little bit of a better of a better format. So do that, but put on better matches than what's going on in this card. So there you go. If there's anything you learn from that, TK, by watching this, which you're not, but because you got to book Ring of Honor and AEW and Collision, Dynamite, Rampage, and do that every single second. So
I'm so high right now.
You got the Jags. You got
I
the
need
soccer
something
team.
to listen to.
No substitute. There you go. Perfect timing.
You are so right, Nick. It's like Ring of Honor.
Yeah, just me talking shit. He's like, yeah, hell yeah. Either way, I mean, send them home happy. We're talking, UCW stuff is coming up. Check it out. It'll be up on the tickety tockety. So make sure you
July 1st.
Yeah, we're competing on that Saturday. So make sure you like I said, follow. I'm pretty sure it's on just Wild Bill's TikTok, and I think you'll try and put it up on yours, of maybe a simultaneous stream if that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put it up everywhere. I'll put it up on and put whatever footage we get. I'll try and put it up on this YouTube page as well later on. Put up a whole recap. It'll be fun. A lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
A lot of things planned, and we're just a lot of tons and tons of action. I'll leave it at that. I think like I said, the hype is real. Everyone's excited. Let's get it done. UCW out for blood. 4th show out for blood. That's what we want. We want
the blood. O2 isn't the place to be this weekend. It's the compound.
Yeah.
UCW.
Fuck yeah, dude. Can't wait. It's gonna be great. We'll have some what a solid show. What a solid show. Can't wait for that. If you're good with that, something just popped up and made a noise, but that's okay. I think we're about ramping up episode 24. This was a good one. All closed up. Check, please. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in for episode 24. Thank you for liking, subscribing, doing everything that you can, sharing us around. Very much appreciated every single time. Follow us on Twitter. That's when I'll post whenever the episodes drop and whatnot. Like and subscribe everywhere else. Follow on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy. Like I said, I'll be going live on Fridays, cleaning up anything we didn't get to there, and reviewing the Dark Side of the Ring episode that's happening, I think, right now as we're finishing up right now. So that'll be fun. Thank you, Alan. Take your notes. Thank you, Troy, for always participating, and everybody else. Thank you very, very much. Very much appreciated every single time, every single week. So take care. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.